Today's lessons is all about on-road costs whilst buying a vehicle. So you've got your license, okay? You have saved money from your part-time job, and now it's time to buy your first car, which most people are going to face, or you guys are going to face, okay? So what exactly are the costs of purchasing a car? So you've got to be mindful of the purchase price of the car. So just compare the prices out there on car sales. You've got to understand the stamp duty of the car is very important, which we have done last lesson. Vehicle registration, you have to pay this every year in order to put your car on the road. Okay, it's basically permission to put your car on public roads. CTP, which is compulsory third-party insurance, also called green slip. Remember, this is the payment that you have to make in order to claim any kind of damage you've done to another person's health or body. Third-party property represents covering the covers of damage to another person's vehicle, but doesn't cover your own. Comprehensive insurance covers both, so someone else's vehicle and your vehicle when you crash someone else's car. Loan interest and fees, which is only when you don't pay upfront for a car. It's when you borrow money from the bank and you pay for this car. So, the cost of registration and CTP insurance is often included in the purchase price of a car, and the stamp duty if the car is new. These are all called on-road costs. Okay, so it doesn't stop there after you buy the car. There's more payments. Now, for example 5, which you don't really have to write down if you don't want to. Kane purchased a van for $40,850 to use in his landscaping business. He set up a table of costs associated with his business. So this van costed him $40,850. He has to pay 10% of the purchase price as GST. Stamp duty is $3 for every $100, which is 3%, or part of $100 of the GST price. Rego, or registration, per year is $764, so that allows him to put his car on the road. CTP insurance, compulsory third-party insurance, that protects someone else's body, is $412, and he's got comprehensive insurance, which protects his car as well as someone else's car whenever a crash is made. What was the on-road cost to purchase this vehicle? Okay, so this means all the costs involved. So we're going to start off with the first extra cost, which is just the GST. That is the 10%. So I'm going to do this all in one go. Okay, I will do price with GST. Okay, is going to be equal to $40,850. But instead of multiplying by 10%, which gets you the GST, I'm going to add this on top of 100%. So that's 110%, and that'll get you the price with the GST. So 40,850 times 110% will give you 44,935. So this is the price with the GST. Then we also have stamp duty. Now, for the stamp duty, when we calculate this, remember that this is $3 for every $100, or part of $100. So you got to round this number to the nearest $100, and that would be the next $100 above the 900, which is another the next 1,000. So that will be $45,000. So you have to get $3 for every $100 of that 45,000, which is 3% of the $45,000, and that will get us $1,050. Okay. Then we're going to pay these three things, which are fixed amounts. So altogether, the total costs would equal to this amount, which is $44,935 plus by the stamp duty, okay, plus the $764 plus 412 plus 963, and altogether this gives us a total amount of $48,424. Okay, which is a large amount. Okay, I'm about to move on. Let's go on to question 4. This is question 4 of exercise 903. So you can write this one down. So, question 4. This is easier than the last one. Charles bought his second-hand station wagon with the following upfront costs. So, how much did he pay for his vehicle? All right. So, the purchase price of this was $31,280. Now, notice how this question doesn't have the GST stated, so we don't need to do that. That's okay. We've got to calculate the 1.5% of the purchase price stamp duty. Now, notice how this also doesn't say part thereof of $100. So you don't actually have to round this to nearest 100 if it doesn't say so. What you're going to do is find out the stamp duty by simply getting 1.5% of 31,280. So let me just do that on my calculator. And that will get us 469.20. Okay, so that's our stamp duty, and that is the tax given to the government for buying the vehicle. Total costs. All right, once we got that, we can find out the total costs. And how we know that we can get to this straight away is now that each of these other things are just fixed amounts. There's no calculations whatsoever. You just got to add them. Okay, so we've calculated the stamp duty and the purchase price. Let's add those two together. Then added by the transfer registration. So that means it was someone else's vehicle, or yeah, it is actually someone else's vehicle because it's a second-hand vehicle. So you got to pay a transfer fee from someone else to you, plus the green slip, plus the third-party property insurance, which does give you a total amount of $32,525.20. Okay. Pause the screen if you need to, because I'm about to move on. Question 5. A car dealer was offering purchasers a 50% discount on the marked price of their vehicles. Let me just highlight that, because I think that's important. So every vehicle gets 15% discount. The cost of GST, stamp duty, registration, and CTP insurance are then added to the discounted price to give the total cost. Wonderful. So we get a discount, and then we have to add all these on. Cool. So in this table, I've got the type of cars, the registration amounts for each type of car, the CTP, which is compulsory third party or green slip, that's compulsory to pay, third party property insurance, which is covering somebody else's car damage, whereas this one is covering the body damage, okay, or health. Comprehensive insurance is your car and their car. So both of these covers cars, this covers health, and these are optional, whereas this is compulsory, okay? And then there's some amounts here that we've got to understand. So GST is 10% of discounted price. Stamp duty, we've got that funny $3 for every $100, or part of $100 for up to $45,000, or $13.50 plus $5 for every $100 or part thereof over $45,000. So depending whether it is under $45,000 or over $45,000, you've got to make sure you choose the right one and use it. Dealer special, no stamp duty on GST prices of $6,500 or less. So that means that price of the car is very cheap. Okay, let's start off with the discount. The discount of 15%. What does that actually mean? If you got a price of a car which was 100% normally, and you subtract it by 15%, well, how much percent of it is left? 85% of it is left, okay? So for part A, what I'm going to do is our discounted price. Let's just find out everything one by one. Discounted price will be 85% of 31468. Okay. Let me just type that on the calculator. So 85% times 31468. So I get 26747.80. Okay, there we go. And now that we've done that, we have to find out the GST, which is 10% of the discounted price. So, all right, I'll just find the GST itself. Oh, actually, no. Maybe I'll just find it with the GST. So, price with GST right? Remember, it's this discounted price here that I'm going to write down, but I'm going to add 100. I'm going to add 10% on top of itself, so I'll multiply this by 110%. So multiplying by 110% gives us 29422.58. Okay, and now the next thing we got to do, if I just look up over here, is stamp duty. Stamp duty is using these two things here. Now, because our amount here is 29,000, we're going to be following the first description because it's up to 45,000. So we have to do $3 for every $100 or part of $100. So have a look at this amount. That amount there is having a 22.58 extra above 400. So if you round this to the next 100, you will have 29,500. So the stamp duty costs would equal to 3% times next $100 above that, so 29,500, and that will give you $885. Okay. All right. What's next? We've got registration and CTP insurance. Okay. So our rego for that car. Let's have a look. Oops, sorry. So what car is this? This is a Holden. So if we look at the Holdens and the registration for that, it's 325. Okay, so I'm going to add 325 to that later on. Okay, I'll just write that down for now. So rego is 325. But there's another thing we've got to do, which is this person has third-party property insurance. So he doesn't have comprehensive, but he has third-party property insurance. So that's over here. That's 250. Okay. So let's do that. So CTP. Oh, actually, we've got third-party property. Whoops. Let me just write that down first, actually. Third-party property insurance is equal to 250. We just found that. And I just missed that one thing, sorry. It is the CTP. So we've got to pay that. Okay. And that would be compulsory. So that is $614. That covers somebody else's health. There we go. So now that we've done that, we have to add all these things. Okay. So if we add this amount with this amount, that. Okay. That will find us our total costs. So let's write down 29747.80 plus 29422.58 plus 885 plus 325 plus 614 plus 250. Okay, that would get us 31496.58. Okay, so this person has to pay that much in total. Right. Now let's have a look at question B. Okay, pause the screen if you need to. I'm going to look at question B. So for question B, we've got Ford with a mark price of $6,500 and no optional insurance. Okay, so let me just remove all this. Okay. Right. So what do we have to do first? We have to get our discounted price, right? So our discounted price is 85% of that mark price, which is in this case $6,500, and that will get us $5,525. Okay, so that's our discounted price. Now, if we put GST on top of that, meaning that we have to get this amount and times it by 110%, well, that would get us $6,077.50. Okay. Now your stamp duty. Beware of your stamp duty. Your stamp duty usually is 3% for everything up to $45,000. But the problem is here is that the dealer has a special. There's no stamp duty on GST prices of $6,500 or less, which is this. So your stamp duty will be $0. Your rego for a Ford, is going to be 318. Okay, your CTP for a Ford is 598. And your third-party property insurance, also for a Ford, is 264. Right? Oh, actually, no, we don't need that. My bad, because there's no optional insurance whatsoever. I read the wrong thing. So if there's no optional insurance, meaning there's nothing here, which is optional, then that's it, right? We don't worry about that. And so we have to add all these values. So that's 6,077.50 plus 318 plus 598. Now I think in my previous question, I think I added this and this by accident. So I do apologize for that. I think I did that. So it should just be this amount, okay? Plus the stamp duty, plus that, plus that, plus that, whatever that was. Sorry about that. Okay. So now we have to add these three amounts. That's going to give us 6993.50. Okay. All right. And then for question C, I think you kind of get the deal now. So you can have a go at question C yourself, actually. Okay. The only difference is that you will. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. This is different. I'm going to do question C with you. My bad. All right. So question C here has Toyota with a mark price of $65,489 and comprehensive insurance. Okay. Why I say that I have to do it now is because that mark price is pretty high, so it's going to look at it's going to look at the bottom bit of the stamp duty because it's over $45,000. So now your discounted price here is 85% of that value. So let me just calculate that first. Then let me remove all this. Can I have that? Yep, don't need that. Okay. All right. So let me just get 85% of $65,489. So what that would get me is $55,665.65. Now your price with GST is going to be this amount times by 110%. Okay. Now that will give us 61,232.215. Okay, and leave it like that for now because we might need to use it later. Your stamp duty is going to use the nearest $100 of this. So this will be 61,300. That's the next 100 above that. And because this is a high amount, we have to use the stamp duty rates given by the second option here. So we have to pay $1,150 plus 5% of anything over $45,000. And how we do that is we write $1,350 plus 5% of every amount, which is going to be 61,300, as we said before. Each dollar over 45,000, meaning we got a minus 45,000, like that, and that will get us to 165. Okay. Then we have a look at a rego and CTP of a Toyota. So rego and CTP of a Toyota is going to be 336 and 437. Okay, then we have a look at the insurance. The insurance this person has is comprehensive insurance. So we need to look at Toyota's comprehensive insurance right there. It's very expensive. It's $999. Okay, now, once we have that ready, we can have our total cost. So our total cost, remember, don't add this one. We have to use the price with GST. So sorry about part A. Okay, so add that with this, and this. Okay, so our total cost is equal to 55,665.65 plus, oh no, I did it again. My bad. It's this one here. 61,232.215 plus 2165 plus 336 plus 437 plus 999. That should give you 65,169.215, and then you round this to two decimal places. So that's 65,169.22. Okay, and that's how you do part C. Moving on. Question 7. Now, in question 7, the extra costs involved in a car purchase at Wally's Wheels are listed in the table. So there's GST, which is 10% of the purchase price. Stamp duty, which was very similar to the previous question. We've got registration, which is $743 plus a transfer fee of $50, and that only happens when there's a second-hand car. CTP insurance, which is green slip, protecting someone else's health. Third-party property insurance, so some kind of base value plus 5% extra for drivers 25 years and under. So these people would get charged a bit more because of their dangerous driving maybe, or inexperienced driving. And remember, this is protecting someone else's vehicle. Comprehensive insurance, this is a base amount plus 10% extra for any drivers under 30 years. Okay, let's have a look at part A. So find the total cost of purchasing each of the following vehicles. All right, so what is the first payment? It is the GST, right? So remember, with the GST price, we have to get 10% extra on top of this. So this person bought a $56,000, $780 sports car. He's a 29-year-old person with comprehensive basic. Okay, so let's get the GST, price of GST. Oops. Now that is equal to 110% times 56,780, which is going to give us 62,458. Okay. Now the next thing we have to look at is our stamp duty. So this amount here is above $45,000. Okay. And what we've got to do is anything that is up to $45,000, it's only 3% of that. So for the first 45,000, let's do 3% of that. Then plus 5% for every dollar over that. So 5% of every dollar over $45,000. Now, the thing is, for this amount, we don't round this to nearest 100 because it doesn't say anything to do with part thereof. So we're going to say 62458 minus $45,000. Okay, whoops. Let me just calculate it for you. Now that gets me $2,222.90. There's our stamp duty. Now, we also have our rego. Okay. Now, our rego and transfer fee is going to be $743.50. Okay, our green slip or CTP, let's write CTP actually, might be easier. Pass through third party is going to be $837. And of course we've got his comprehensive basic here. So that amount there refers to this base value C. Now we've got to analyze his age. His age here is 29 years old, and for anybody who's under 30 years old, he has to pay 10% extra. So what that means is that you have comprehensive insurance, okay, that will be costing him $1,034, but he's going to add 10% of that on top. So you could have written this as 110% times 1,034 if you wanted to. Okay, I'm just writing it as these two for understanding. So that will give us 1,137.40. And what we've got to add now altogether is the price of GST, stamp duty, our rego and transfer fee, CTP, and I guess our comprehensive. Okay, so that's all that. Add that all up. So total costs equal to 62,458 plus 2222.90 plus 743 plus 50 plus 837 plus 1137.40. Okay, let me calculate that. Okay, and this is what I got. I got 67,448.30. Okay, that's the answer to that question. All right. I'm going to move on to question B. So question B says, this person bought a $36,204 sedan, and this person was 40 years old with third-party property basic $328. Okay. Let me remove all this. Okay. So let's start with the price with GST. This price was $36,204, and we're going to multiply that by 110%. Okay, and I get 39,824.40. There. Now our stamp duty is going to be using this part only because it's under $45,000. So we'll just get 3% of that amount exactly. We don't need to round it to the nearest $100. Okay. So that stamp duty would equal to 1,194.732. Now our registration and our transfer fee is 743 plus 50. Now CTP, okay, now let me think. Our CTP here, it's 837, right? Then our comprehensive, but this person doesn't have comprehensive. This person has a cheaper car and wants to pay less for insurance, so she went with third-party property basic. So that amount there is referring to the P dollars as part of third-party property insurance. Now, this person is not under 25 years, so this person doesn't have to pay the 5% extra. If they did, then this amount would have had multiplied by 105%. Okay, but you don't have to. So, the third-party property insurance is equal to 328, and now we simply have to add these amounts. So our total costs would equal to $39,824.40 plus 1,194.732 plus 743 plus 50 plus 837, then I plus 328. Whoops. Okay, so that will give me 42,977.132, which is approximately 42,977.13. Right, and that's how you do that question.